Morning. Good evening, Raptor freaks. Lexiot's here. It's 9:30 p.m. A reaction game afterwards. I gotta figure out my light here. Hang on. Trying to get this right. I'm gonna put it here. All right. Trying to figure out a good way to put my light set up here. Good to see everybody here. Of course, we got a big W tonight. Wow, what a great game tonight. Very interesting. Let me just first start with like my 3 stars real quick. I'm actually not gonna do like different first, second, or third. I think all three are number one stars tonight. And obviously, it's the three guys that have championship rings with the 2019 Toronto Raptors. That's Fred VanVleet, OG Anunoby, and Chris Boucher. All three of them contributing major important things for us tonight. As far as Fred showing up, being steady Freddie, being the captain, showing that steadiness, helping us in rough waters early in the game by hitting big shots when we're kind of stalling out. Just him being in the lineup gives us a certain level of confidence. And oh man, I was so happy to see Fred back and the way he was playing. He was rusty, and you can tell he's still a little bit sick, but he got out there and he played through it. He didn't start great, but he got going later. And Fred had a 26 points on 7 of 18 shooting, 3 threes, 9 of 10 from the field, 6 rebounds, and 7 assists, a plus 12. Freddie was really top notch for us as far as leadership and just a calming influence. Once again, the managing of the game at the end of the game, really important. He was saying he was so tired and he wanted OG to come and get the ball, but he wouldn't come. So he ended up having to give it to Chris for that shot at the end that they had to go and check whether it made it before the shot clock ran out. But it did make it, of course. And Chris probably should have got he did get a free throw for that too, also, I believe. Now, OG, all right. Obviously, OG's huge contribution for tonight was really being the best plumber on the court, shutting off the water for Luka. Luka was a mere mortal in some ways, partly because of OG's presence. They very much played OG exactly at the same time as Luka. They really did. Like there was one point where Luka was coming back in and they like scooted and they're like, "Oh, you got to get in real quick, OG." He really mirrored Luka's minutes almost exactly. 43 minutes for him and 43 minutes for Luka. So this is funny because Nick said this yesterday. He's like, "Oh, well, we'd like to have him just single coverage on Luka all game." We kind of did that in some ways. There was some doubles and running at him and agitating him, but really, OG had to stop Luka, mess him up, stymie him, just make him really like ineffective as much as possible. And he did. He did a good job. He outscored Luka. I mean, that is a huge accomplishment in a way, 26-24. And he limited his shots. That was the thing that OG said in the press conference after the game just now, that the most important thing to him was his field goal attempts, Luka's, and that he wanted him to not shoot a lot of attempts. And that this was the game of the year that he has had his least amount of field goal attempts in a game, Luka Doncic, with just 15 attempts, guys. This guy's shooting like 20 to 30 shots for sure. A 15-shot game, that is not normal for Luka. And it was really cool. Like you guys noticed when he got blocked by OG, OG fell down, and Luka could have ran back and like got back on defense or on offense and like really capitalized on the man advantage at the other end. But he hung around. He picked OG up off the court and like helped him up and then went back. That was really something that said a lot to me about Luka's character. And in fact, OG said this after they were talking at the press conference after the game, that Luka said in his press conference that OG is one of the nicest guys in the league, and that's why he helped him up. That apparently both of them are not trash talkers on the court, and that they both really appreciate each other for being nice people. So that's really cool that like you have two of the top tier caliber talents in the NBA at their positions, and they really respect each other. And it's not like a rude kind of thing or anything like trash talk or anything. It's very much a very genuine, wholesome respect. I actually have a lot more respect for Luka, finding out that he isn't like Larry, like a shit talker, like Larry and Michael used to be, that he is very much just a dude who's out there playing really well and kicking ass. So wow, what a game. And then obviously Chris the thing about Chris Boucher, and he got the interview, and he's a player of the game, is that he really was the epitome of the stat category that won us this game tonight. The offensive rebounds overwhelmingly are the biggest thing that helped us win tonight, guys. The stats were very, very even in a lot of places. But the fact that we got 17 offensive rebounds to only 4 by them, 48 total rebounds to 34 by them was a huge factor in this game. And Chris was the leader of that, obviously. We saw him getting after the ball around the basket on the offensive boards like Dennis Rodman would. Tipping it, slinking underneath, coming up underneath, and just tipping it in all of a sudden. Just a lot of really cool stuff. 5 offensive rebounds by him. For 13 total. And then, guys like Thad and OG also getting on there for 4 each. And then underratedly, Jeff Dowden Jr. in his 12 minutes got 2 offensive rebounds also. So we were really crashing the boards. And this is a huge Achilles heel, like weakness for this Dallas Mavericks team. I don't understand how they got to the Western Conference Finals last year, because this team has a lot of flaws. They have to be shooting very well, and Luka's got to be able to do whatever he wants. So when he meets a plumber like OG Anunoby, he can't do what he wants. Well, that team really suffers. We see how anemic their offense gets when OG is completely shadowing Luka Doncic on the court, 94 feet, and with all the minutes that he plays. That was something that OG said at the press conference. They said, they thought that maybe they would sit Doncic for a little bit of time in the second half, but no, they played him the whole second half. And that meant OG had to play the whole second half also. So it's very interesting that this was the decision by Nick Nurse to play them both together all the time. Like if Luka was out there, then OG was going to be out there also. So I just wanted to do my 3 stars and get them out of the way first. There's so much to talk about with the game tonight. Scotty got on Twitch immediately after the game once again. We saw him for a brief little bit. When we talk about that a little bit, if you guys have anything you want to talk about with the game, just put it in the comments. We'll do a proper reaction recap live stream that we would do in the morning, but I'll be busy. Y'all will know that. So let's see what you guys are saying. Raymond Jacobs first, and he's got the W and the celebration smiley. I love to see that, Raymond Jacob. I hope you're having a good party time on this Saturday night. Yes, Saturday night fever. Yeah, Scotty was doing that pointing on the sideline. He was like on the dance floor. He's like, you and you, Chris Boucher, Fred, Bam, OG. Yeah. All right, let's see. Monique saying, I'm early and happy to go Raptors. What a win. We contained Luka. Like I said, we needed this. Yeah, we did. We love you, Chris. Fred didn't miss a beat. Again, wow, just wow. Well coached by Nick Nurse. Yeah, I thought Nick did a really good job with the rotations and his decisions. Like one of the decisions he made was to start Chris Boucher after halftime. And I think that was really, really smart. At the beginning of the game, it was like a tortoise in the hare kind of situation where we kind of let them go 5 minutes before we actually started playing. It was really bad how we started tonight. And it was really smart that Nick put in Chris like 3 minutes into the game. Normally he would wait like 6 minutes or something like that to make a sub off the starting lineup from the start of the game. But he saw how bad things were, like really, really bad. And he needed to get some energy and get good things going there. So he brought Chris in really, really early. And that was a brilliant, really smart move, showing that he's not stubborn and he will get somebody out of the starting lineup, but things aren't working at the beginning. And that was huge because Thad Young had bad energy right at the beginning of the game. He was turning the ball over. He couldn't keep his hands on it. Different things were happening. And he just needed a reset. And it was really good because Thad got a second stint later and he became very, very useful as the game went on. And it wasn't his scoring. In fact, he had a lot of shots that he missed that he normally would make. There's a lot of those little left-hand hooks, and Alvin kept saying it. He never misses these shots. Why is Thad missing these shots all of a sudden? We just had an off shooting night. But the thing is, just because he had an off shooting night, did he not contribute in some huge ways in the game? He really did. And once again, it was that facilitator, that guy that's kind of looking for people cutting and hitting them. And the chemistry between him and Juancho in the game tonight was so sublime. It was just awesome to see. You see Juancho, a European player that plays a European style with cutting and stuff, and then Thad just rewarding him for just a strong, good cut into the lane, and boom, Juancho has an easy basket. I saw something in that those guys need to play together more, that we can cultivate really easy stuff with just these smarts and these kind of like intelligent kind of cuts and moving off the ball kind of stuff with Thad and Juancho. I really like them as a pair. But yeah, Nick did a really good job rotating guys, and I really commend him on his plan for Luka. It really worked. And also just like the defensive effort for the Raptors tonight and what they did with the Dallas Mavericks today was really, 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 really outstanding and really like impressive in some ways. I mean, we got to remember too, this is Dallas Mavericks team A. Like their whole team was available, every single one of them. Maxey was the last person who has been hurt, and he came back in this game. And then look at our bench, who was wearing street clothes on our bench. I mean, Pascal, Scotty, Delano, Precious. This is the crazy thing. That's why we're a really good team on the down low, and people don't understand this, that we can do things like we did tonight to Dallas, who went to the Western Conference Finals last year, and we don't even have like a starting lineup of talent that's available tonight, like really good talent that's not even in the game. All right, let's see. Monica saying 10-9 of the season. Lolita's here. Good to see Lolita. Good evening, Raptors freaks. Got home at third quarter. Sorry to miss the first three. We'll watch later. So happy for the W. Go Raptors. Yeah, it was a weird start time. I'll bet that was part of the reason why you probably missed the first bit of it, because it started at 5. And that's a little bit different for things. I'm really glad we won today, because we had not won on like a Friday or a Saturday in a while. It seems like we don't win on Friday nights. And Saturdays have been difficult to win on too. But I'm really glad that we won the game today. And the early start time I don't think maybe that's part of the reason why they started a little weird at the beginning, but I don't think it was a huge factor. The refs were definitely shitty at different times. We had a little bit of ref manipulation in there. It really was like Bill Kennedy was at times messing up the momentum. We actually were really juiced and wanted to go run down the court and transition, and he stopped everything to go watch cartoons a couple times. That was really bugging me. But overall, they did a pretty good job, but they did miss some calls, and they were really bad. Like that out of bounds that went all the way down the court, and they said it was out on us. That was completely wrong. That hit Finney-Smith's hands for sure. And there was a couple of plays like that. And then of course our lead wasn't that big. It shrunk right after halftime. They ate up that 9-point lead at half. And then, I was worried, because I always say we need to have a good lead in the fourth quarter, or the referees can mess around and we can lose a game all of a sudden. Well, we really treaded that, rode the wave like on the surfboard really smart and stayed on top, because it could have got real scary with a guy like Luka out there on the court and it being close, and the refs calling a lot of weird shit. They definitely do not like OG. They do not call stuff for him very fairly in a lot of different ways. And I think it's all kinds of different things. But it's crazy because OG overcomes it. There was parts of the second half where OG looked like Kawhi Leonard. He was so strong, and he was doing stuff right near the basket, and they were all over him. They couldn't do anything to stop him. In fact, his aggression and how strong he was playing really reminded me a lot of Leonard in the year that he played for us here. All right, let's keep going with the comments. Paul B's here. Boucher, I don't think I've cheered as loud this season when he hit that and one, and he'll only try harder to make that free throw and more from now on. Yeah. I was really, really sweating when Thad had to hit those 2 clutch free throws late, because he's not shot good free throws since he's been on the Raptors. He's a weird vet that doesn't shoot good free throws. But if it really, really matters, he does all of a sudden. I don't understand that completely. But I didn't like that play where he ended up with the ball when they were trying to foul us. Like, why are we letting Thad get it? Because he was reliable and he made both of them. But I've seen him clank so many free throws as a Raptor. I'm like, he's not one of our better free throw shooters, but maybe he is in the clutch when it really matters. He's a vet. He understands how important they are. Maybe he is somebody we can count on at that point. It's just early on, he won't have the concentration to make them. He'll just and then it's clunk, or I don't know. But that freaked me out a bit. OG was really good at the line at the end of the game, and Chris did miss a couple of free throws that he could have made. near the end that would have helped us a lot. What was he? He was 2 for 5 at the free throw line. I don't like that, but I can't get mad at Chris for too much because he was 10 and 19 from the field, 22 points, 13 rebounds, 5 offensive rebounds, and a steal to boot. So yeah, Chris had a fantastic game. That's what I was saying. My 3 stars, and I'm not putting them in any order, are Chris, OG, and Fred. And it is such a coincidence that these are the 3 guys that have rings that were available to play for us tonight. The 3 champions, the guys who were on our championship team. Really, really awesome. Let's see. Paul saying these are the games that I stay up in the middle of the night and watch the road broadcast too to hear them cry. Well, listen, actually, the Dallas announcers are very fair. Derek Harper is a good old pro, and he probably called this game very interesting. It will be interesting for you to go back and watch it, Paul. But I'll tell you right now, you're going to find that Derek Harper was probably really cool during the whole game. And he probably, you know what? I'll bet you, I'm going to put, this is what he said. I'll bet you he said that OG was playing really good defense on Luka. And he's going to talk, you'll find that he talked a lot about how OG was doing so well on him. It was really true. He's really guiding Luka to do places and things that he doesn't like doing. Like that one layup he made with his left hand, that really was OG hedging to not allow him to go around into the lane from the top. And he kind of forced him, and he was doing it really awkward, Luka. He dribbled with his left, and then he put it in off the backboard really up close. And that was not what Luka wanted to do. That's the whole thing. It's like OG was forcing him to do the thing that he's most uncomfortable to do, but he still was successful in making it. That's the crazy thing. And the couple of times that that Luka split our double teams and got past them, that was problems. And we saw the breakdown after that. But that didn't happen a whole lot. More often than not, they contained him, and that he didn't bust through and beat our defense. We really did a good job. And you couple that with all our hands going and getting involved and sticking our hands in places and deflections. And even Nick Nurse said after the game, the kickballs, that Juancho in particular had really good job getting his fingers on all kinds of balls that were just deflecting and causing all kinds of mayhem. And he even said that he was really happy with him getting kickballs because they even count. Because you got to stop and you got to take it out of bounds and set up again. And it's like it's actually, he was really happy with how much we were just messing everything up in the middle, causing chaos. Really, really, really awesome. Monique saying Chris went in, hearts over. Yes. And Logical saying Freak Nation, we here. Yeah, it's funny. Y'all are just jumping streams. You're on Raptors tonight and you're going to Twitch and watching Scotty. And then Chris's Sports Corner is live also tonight. Now I'm on live. Everybody's just jumping around from all the stream jumping. That's what we're doing on a Saturday night. And Freak Nation is here. That's right. Respect to Project Truth and Logical Raptors fanatic. Big W's, baby. Big dubs, big dubs. And yeah, Scotty watched the highlights of the game immediately after on Twitch, and he was going over it, really happy with the effort by people like Chris Boucher, OG, and Khem Birch. Really impressed with Khem Birch's offensive rolling tonight. The stuff he was doing with Fred. I love Khem Birch's game so much. I know it's not the prettiest thing at times, but he is such a presence, and he just plays winning basketball, y'all. We see when he gets out there, he's just a stop. He gets Fred so freed up to take shots that he just helps so much with our offense. It's like, I don't care if these guys try and do one-on-one stuff, isolation. You should just be running around Khem Birch all day, because he sets you guys up with such wide open looks and you're bombing them after that. And I love that. Now let's talk about Gary for a second. I know Gary had a tough game and he didn't get to play late, but I want to tell you guys, he did have on the down low, he did the most important thing out there. He may not have been hitting his shots, but he got 4 steals tonight, and he was an absolute pest. He was doing what Nick is wanting him to do. And that's the most important thing. The shots didn't fall, and it looked bad at times. And you're just kind of like, oh, no, Gary, what's going on? But at least he did the defensive stuff with 4 steals and just being an agitator. And in general, I got to give him credit for that. And he did hit he did hit 1-3 tonight, but we need him to do better, obviously. And I don't think he's fully healthy yet. In fact, when you listen to these guys in their interviews, Nick Nurse still sounds sick. Fred still sounds sick. So I'm just gonna guess. Like Fred said to Savannah Hamilton before the game that he's had this for 3 weeks, and then it's come and gone in waves. Like this is really is that flu that Cool Cat was talking about. It's like a month-long flu that just doesn't go away, and it comes in waves, and that's what's happening with Fred right now. And obviously Nick Nurse. And I guess the other guys like Gary had it and Delano had it and Chris had it a little bit. So it's a real serious flu outbreak on our team. Yeah, let's let this win streak start now, please. Oh, yeah. Tom Duke is here with the W's. Tom Duke, you are an MVP. Thank you for letting us know that Scotty was on Twitch. Very much always, Tom Duke is information awesome person. I appreciate you, Tom. Let's see. Logical saying with the development minutes at the moment, we're going to be more dangerous. I agree. Like, Mike, we figured some things out, like, especially with Thad and Juancho. Like, they can draw up so many different kinds of cool plays now with these vets on our team. And having vet synergy is something different in some ways. It's just more steady, it's more learned, it's just more like consistent, and it makes you like be like, I could see them doing this a lot in different variations around the court with Juancho just moving off the ball and cutting in different various ways, and Thad will find him. And he really did reward him for moving off the ball and really smart cuts because they were easy baskets. Right there. Boom. Easy does it. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, you're saying that Chris is live at the moment. Yeah. I went and checked out his stream for a second. Was he still in the building? It looked like he was still in the arena. Tom Duke saying everybody's going live today. That's right. You guys are all getting live streams left and right. This is like your 7th live stream today, Tom Duke. I did watch Scotty on Twitch for a bit. I had my 6-month anniversary of subbing to him. Like, holy crap. It's been a half a year of watching Scotty on Twitch. Of course, we haven't watched him in the last month. He wasn't on for very long. Cardi was back with him at the house. That was nice. I told him, I said, healing vibes. I hope you get better fast and you're back in the game as soon as you can be, Scotty. And this is what he said. This is interesting, y'all. He said, y'all are going to see me in a couple days. I don't know if that means he's going to be playing for the Cleveland game, but it did kind of maybe sound like that. Y'all see me in a couple days, y'all, is what he said. And I'm like, what's he mean? See him in a couple days? Means we'll see you on the court playing, or we'll see you on the bench wearing some nice clothes and just taking the game in again like you did today. I don't know, but he did say, well, you'll see me in a couple days when somebody said something about his injury. So who knows? He didn't really talk about it at all, obviously, and didn't really tell us what's wrong with his knee or anything, or the timeline for when he'd be back or anything. But he did say we'd see him in a couple days. So, hey. All right, let's see. All right, the trolls were coming hard, but no doubt Fred VanVleet over Luka at the moment. Yeah, I don't know if we can compare them right now. Luka is geez, I mean, some of the stats they were throwing up on there and the names he was with, like Matt Devlin said, he's in the company of greatness, like LeBron, Oscar Robertson. Some of the things that he's doing stat-wise, Luka Doncic is super impressive. And he truly is one of the top 75 players in the history of the NBA. And him being on that list makes total sense. Unlike some of the more current stars that have been on the top 75, he definitely deserves it. Let's see. IQ level is unmatched at the moment in regarding to what's possible. Messiah's armed Fred with the full clip. Well, I just want Freddie to get healthier because he does seem like he's still sick, and he did seem really like exhausted after the game in the interview. But he was funny too. He's so funny, man. Like somebody asked him, when Luka does a behind the back pass on the court, what do you think when you see that? And it's such a dumb question. And once again, you're like, what, you're asking Fred if he fanboys over Luka in the middle of a fucking game when he's playing against him? You fucking idiot. Why would you ask him that question? First of all, like, he's like, no, like, why would I get up all fangirly about a pass behind his back in the middle of the game? You made the dude, yeah, you're stupid for asking the question. So, but I was hilarious that Fred was like that. What do you think he's going to say? Yeah, Luka was the best. And I can't believe I got to be on the court at the same time as him when he made a behind the back pass. Once again, it's just stupid questions for some of the players after the game. But, good stuff. Like, OG was hilarious. I really like how OG and Luka have a very respected, like, rivalry, very respected gentlemen's rivalry of like nice people like that compete at a high level that other people wish they could, but they're not shit talkers. They're very like nice. Oh, OG, thank you for blocking my shot. Let me help you up. Oh, okay, thank you, Luka. Please don't drop 40 on me. Okay, I don't know. You're guarding me very well. I don't think I might be able to. It's like, what's going on here? What these guys are like, they're very polite people, very polite, Luka and OG. Callie's saying, what a game. OG, a beast. And Chris continues to impress, a real nail biter. It's true. Chris's stretch recently could be in consideration for like player of the week kind of nominations because he's doing this off the bench. He's getting double doubles. He set the record for the Toronto Raptors franchise and double doubles off the bench. He's got the most in the history in our franchise. He's just awesome. There are really more and more shades of Dennis Rodman in the things that he's doing. Like when he did that little tip in from coming from underneath and just slinking in and just kind of tipping in, that was so Rodman. That was so Dennis Rodman. That is exactly the kind of stuff he would be doing. And, I just love, there's all kinds of different things about our team that are just really enjoyable right now, whether it's the veteran savvy of some of our vets right now, whether it's Chris's hard work, whether it's Fred's guidance and leadership, whether it's OG's just bullying the China shop, crazy ass offense. It's just hilarious and fun to watch in a lot of ways. Mike saying CB is a real monster, in my opinion, confirmed, no doubt. Okay, Mike, you're filling it up today. I want to save some of the pie for everyone. Let's see. Imagine Kanono in that position. Let's see. Please don't spam the chat. Yeah, see that you don't do that. Monique doesn't want you to spam too. Yeah, you need to relax. Okay. Fred was so aware of this game. Yeah, I agree, Monique. And it was really interesting. I don't think he was totally ready to come back. But he knew that this game was very, very important and that he wanted to come back and that we needed him. And he very much showed up and did what he needed to do. He once again said in the press conference that, he's going to shoot until he starts making them. And he wasn't making them early, but he really figured it out and started making them. And like I said, Khem Birch gives him room, gives him space, makes his life easier. And I really like the role that he was doing with Khem too. The little short roll that Khem was doing, and he got 2 easy baskets off of that. That is such good bread and butter kind of stuff that you can get a score pretty easy if you can set that up on the regular. Let's see. Monique is saying, Gary Trent really got benched after his few minutes. Wow. Nick said he was trying to maybe get him back in the fourth quarter, and that at around 4-minute mark to go in the game, he was thinking about putting him back in, but he really liked the way the team had already been going and the dudes that he had out there, he wanted to just keep out there. Gary, in some ways, he's got to be worried a little bit because Jeff is playing really, really well. And Jeff kind of ate into his minutes a little bit tonight because he was very steady and what he was doing out there. I love what Jeff Doughton's doing. I mean, we saw him take a little run to the basket and make a teardrop over the defender. That was just a really smart, intelligent play for what that situation was, to make sure that he made the basket. Jeff Doughton Jr. played 12 minutes. He made his only shot, that teardrop. But like I said, he had 2 offensive rebounds, which kept the play alive for us. It was really big. He did have 3 assists. And that's a big deal because some of our backup point guard guys come in and they don't really distribute the ball or look for people to try and set them up. But Jeff does do this. And that's something that I really like about him. He's a traditional point guard and he will play like a point guard. In fact, he does all the textbook point guard kind of stuff and very consistently. So I'm really a huge fan of him. And I was saying in Scotty's chat a little while ago on Twitch that Jeff's going to get converted. I know I've been saying this like a broken record already, but he's going to get converted to a full contract and he'll be on our playoff roster at the end of the year. Trust me. He's just that kind of dependable guy. You just going to want to have him around. Just when we get to the playoffs, we're going to want to have him around. Trust me. Let's see. Mike's saying tough stretch for Gary, but shooters have them. Not going to lie. That's why build on defense that always travels. And since, and he did good defense tonight. So I can, you know what? That's fine. It's fine. The shots are going to come down the road. And I don't think he's fully healthy still. He doesn't look like he has his legs under his shot at times. Like he does really look like he's not putting his full into it because sometimes his shots are short and they don't look exactly like how he was shooting at the beginning of the year. So I don't think he's 100% at all. Like he could be playing at like 70% right now and he just doesn't want to tell anybody. But at least he's giving that good defensive effort. 4 steals is fantastic. That is huge for us. And that was a place where we did better as the game went on. We had horrible turnovers at the beginning of the game, right at the very start. But by the end of the game, we forced way more turnovers on them. Well, not way more. They had 16 turnovers. We had 13. But we were really leading the game in turnovers in the first half because it's such a bad first quarter. And I really like how little they scored. Like it is really crazy how much they cannot score if you really key on Luka. That he has to absolutely be able to operate for them to put points on the board. They can't. I don't see any of those other guys stepping up and doing anything. Like it's really weird. It's really, really weird. They very much follow Luka, and when Luka can't lead them, then who steps up? Who does anything? I mean, Christian Wood did try late in the game to try and take over and be that guy, and he had a little bit of success for a second, but then they kind of went away from it and gave up on trying to go through him, and they were still trying to go through Luka. Yeah, it was very interesting. And Dallas, I don't know if they're a real playoff threat this year. Like maybe last year they were, and maybe Brunson was very important. But this year, I don't know, man. I shouldn't count out Luka, obviously, just because of Luka's Luka. And he's not going to have to play defenses like ours all the time. And he may get a really good matchup in the West. But also, in some ways, a team like theirs does not win championships. There's just too many flaws, and I can tell they have flaws, especially with rebounding. They very much have a very, very poor rebounding team, which is weird because they do have a lot of tall guys. Let's see. Lakers are looking garbage in IQ terms, not gonna lie. All right, Mike. It's the Mike show here. People think Nick goes no plan, but watch the Lake show and what that truly means. All right. Yeah. I'm going to get to the part where there's more people interacting. Okay. The 2-day stream is good today. Very active. Thank you, Monique. Yes. All right. Tom Duke saying, let's go. Yes. Tom Duke has got the 5 Raptors starting lineup. Monique has got her emoji parade here too, with the dinosaur, the fist. Yeah, Evelyn's here. Good to see Evelyn. Hearts for Evelyn, Granny Evelyn, Raptor Freak Granny Evelyn. What a game. Yes, I loved it too. OG Plumbing was working. Yes, very much. He's tired. He's glad there's not a double back-to-back. He's not having to play tomorrow. Click's here. Good to see Click. OG Click. One of the Raptor freaks from the original here. Man, I'm so happy. Don't know if you know Chris's Sports Corner. He's a basketball content creator, and he flew from Maryland to watch the game. He's live right now. Yeah, I watched it a little bit. I was watching Chris's channel a bit earlier this year when you guys told me about it, and I'm just flabbergasted and awesome that he came here with his wife and watched the game. And apparently I caught on his live stream saying he's going to come back for the playoffs and try and be here around that time of the year. Cause I guess he just really loved the atmosphere. I mean, this is a really good game for them to come to the game and get the whole like experience at Scotty Bank Arena, especially with a close game with the drama and everything and like beating the Dallas Mavericks. Really, really awesome. Really good. Yeah, fun guys here. We beat Luka. Yes. Boucher's rebounds really important. Raptors freak at night. Pretty ear. Ooh, very scary, Raymond Jacob. Whoa. Ooh, there's creatures lurking in the dark here at the Raptor Freak channel. Ooh. Are you feels like you're watching I'm Afraid Are You Afraid of the Dark? I saw like a documentary on that show once before, like recently. It's really good. I mean, I had my my light for like seasonal depression on. It's like staring at me. It's like that's why it's so bright. I should probably just turn on the overhead light. No, yeah, this is the Raptor Freak at night look. It's very dark. Monique saying, we are all a part of it, Click. At least Tom and I, Chris's Sports Corner is awesome. Yes, I saw you guys were in there. And I saw you guys were at Twitch, and I saw you guys were at Raptors tonight. Race mode's here. Did we recap yet? Not really. I'm just kind of going with the flow. If you guys have anything, just put it in there, and we'll talk about it. Tom Duke saying Athletic Khem got Big Four fired up. That's true. Yeah, this is something we talked about a couple times this summer. Khem Birch with Scotty, that we want him to be more aggressive on offense. We want him to go and get baskets. Khem, you could do this. You're getting open shots, but you're too unselfish. You pass to the next guy. Well, we want to see you take it up and get some shots. Well, he was being a little more aggressive tonight. Khem Birch in this game was, I think it was 3 for 5. Let me just see. 3 for 5, 6 points. He didn't get any rebounds or do anything, but you know what he did? He set a lot of screens. He played good defense, and he got us 6 points. And that's just a Khem Birch kind of game. It really solid. And Nick Nurse said that after the game too. He said he thought Khem had really good solid minutes tonight. The defensive stuff's really good. Like you see, when Khem's around the basket, there's no easy shots for the other team. If you come near the basket and Khem Birch is actually in our lineup, you are going to get hit. And you are not going to have easy time getting there. And it may look a little dirty, and they may not catch it all the time, but they do sometimes too. They call the foul. But yeah, it was good stuff. Very good stuff. Forgetful's here. I followed the game on Mavs radio. Very decent guys, full of praise for Raptors players and game beginning to end. Yeah, in general, the Mavericks organization's pretty cool. Mark Cuban's all right. I know they had some issues in their front office with some scummy people, but for the most part, it's a very world-class organization all around. Dirk Nowitzki was a great leader for the culture there. And Luka seems to be the guy who's kind of carrying it. And their announcers are kind of down-to-earth people. Like Derek Harper's awesome on the TV guy. I don't even know who calls it on the radio. That's cool. Monique saying, good to see everyone here in the Raptors Tonight stream. I have to show love. Yeah, they were there. And once again, Alvin's on the show with Sherman, but they got Paul Jones there too. So maybe there's a little bit more referees to keep these guys just in case. No, I think everybody was nice and civil. I really enjoyed Alvin on commentary during the game tonight. He was telling some very cool stories today. Like especially the stuff about Kevin Willis. I thought that was hilarious that he said at one point that K-Dub, the old vet, Kevin Willis. I love Kevin Willis, by the way. He's somebody that was always a favorite of mine way before he even played for the Raptors. When he was on the Hawks, I used to like him. But then when he came to Raptors and he was on our team with Vince and them, then I was like, oh, Kevin Willis is awesome. Well, he's famous for a lot of different things, and we did the classic Jurassic trivia on him. But one of the things we learned from Alvin was that he hates rap music, and that when they played together, he would not let the young Raptors play rap music in the locker room around him. That's hilarious, but it totally makes sense because he's one of those old school kind of guys, and it's kind of weird. He's always got those nice suits. But yeah, really, really fun to see Alvin obviously is just, he gives an insight and all kinds of fun in the broadcast that is just so essential that you have a former Raptor, a guy who's on charts like Fred tied him for assists on our franchise all-time list for assists. He tied him and passed him tonight. And just, it's fun that Matt can turn around and talk to Alvin about that record changing. And he's sitting right next to him. How you feel about it? He's like, well, it's not really my record. It's Kyle's record, but he's got a long way to go to get it still. Cool Cat's here. Good to see. I felt we would get the W tonight. Our closers of Fred, O.G, Boucher, Thad, Juancho was key. Low-key, Juancho, another complete game, offensive and defensive. Juancho getting comfy with our style of play. Yeah, I had a good feeling about things too. This is kind of like one of those kind of weird trap games in reverse where you're kind of like thinking, okay, we don't really have the odds on our favor. We really have not played against Luka and Dallas very well in recent years. We've lost a lot to them. We don't have all of our people. But for some reason, I feel like we're going to win for some weird reason. I had that vibe early, and I felt it like at the beginning. Obviously, we were all like, oh, fuck, this may be a very long game, and this may not be very enjoyable. And I'll bet you that some poor souls turned the TV off within the first 5 minutes of the game and didn't even come back to it. Well, that's their loss. Because we know the Raptors, and we know even when it looks so bad and so dark, like it did at the beginning of the game, we stick with them, and we know that they can make things happen real fast, and that we get rewarded with seeing a great comeback and a big W over a team like Dallas, because we don't give up on them because we're not fair weather, and we're not people that just like, oh, they're probably going to lose to Luka, So I'm just going to turn it off. A lot of people do that. A lot of people do that. But Juancho, more on this, Cool Cat. I'm glad you bring him up because listen, besides the synergy with Thad Young and the cuts and like making those easy baskets, he was doing really good like team defense, like running around, just getting in the passing lanes for Dallas and agitating the ball. And Nick said this. He described Juancho as not a very good individual defensive player in the post game, but he's very good at playing team defense with everybody else together. But if you get him on one-on-one situations, he can be exploited by talented offensive players. And that's where we got to kind of like cover up his weaknesses is when he has to play defense one-on-one. He really has to be in like a team help scheme for him to not really make us get burned. And that may hurt him being able to play in certain situations on our team. This problem with him individually as a defensive player. But he did so much good tonight. Honestly, Juancho was a starter, 30 minutes, 4 of 6 from the field, 2 of 4 from 3-point range, 5 rebounds, and 10 points. He was a +3. Now, there was a lot of talk about his friendship with Luka before the game, and I did not realize how close they really are. That them growing up in Europe and being around each other, they are actually best friends in some ways. And we saw them like embrace before the game. And I was like, okay, but I think that Luka probably knows how to beat Juancho pretty good. And he probably like if they play one-on-one, he probably knows all the ways to beat Juancho. So you probably don't want him giving the OG treatment to Luka because he probably can't do it like OG. Holy crap. It was kind of like that was the fun of the game tonight was this heavyweight fight, OG's defense versus Luka's offense. And it really was like a 10-round battle. And it was, like I said, it was so funny to see Luka getting inserted back in the game and then Nick's running over to get OG immediately to come in immediately with him and mirror him. He mirrored his minutes exactly. When Luka was out of the game, OG was out. And when Luka was in, he was in. And OG was like, he's like, I didn't want him to be out there without me, is what he said, or something in the post-game interview. He's like, I didn't want him to be out there without me, or something like that, is the way he was describing it about him and Luka. Monique saying Juancho Hernan-Gomez definitely deserves love a bit. Yeah, he was solid. And I just listen, our offenses looked stagnant and really ugly and like struggling. When we do things on our offense that look really like, wow, that is like looks real clean and crisp and just like sound and like smart and fundamental, I get real happy about that because so often we work so hard just to get a basket. And I hate that. I want them to have an easier time and make it look easier, not so ugly. And like they had to run through a brick wall just to make a basket. So when we see a nice cut by Juancho and then that's just setting them up, that's nice. It's like, oh, this is very capable players and making an easy play happen instead of us just dribbling and going against 3 guys or something in isolation. Ooh, I hate that stuff. All right, let's keep going. Bishop is saying the combination of any 3 starters can beat any team at home. From our from our team. Well, it's really cool that like our 3 guys, like I said, the guys who won championships for 2019 Toronto Raptors all got 20 plus points, and we're all individually different kinds of leaders for this team tonight. That at different spots in different ways, they really showed up and did important things to help us. And those 3 guys, Chris, OG, and Fred. But then you had a second tier of guys that kind of came in and did extra stuff to flesh out the whole team effort of winning this game. Guys like Juancho, Thaddeus, and Jeff Doughton Jr., Khem Birch also. And, Malachi got out there. He didn't look good at all. He like kind of turned the ball over. He had that one play where he tried to go to the basket. He probably should have passed it. And then he missed his only 3-point attempt. He just didn't have it in the game. And Koloko was a similar kind of thing. He got 1 offensive rebound and missed 1 shot, but was barely out there. But he got 3 quick fouls. Koloko got 3 quick fouls, and that was tough. And then Gary just struggled shooting, but he did good things on defense. So, all right, let's keep going. That was a cool shout out at the end. Go Freaks. Yeah, shout out. So, I really like what Chris did at the end of the game where he was getting the crowd going. Like, that was really smart. I wish these guys would do this more often at our home court, is really egg the crowd on like a wrestler would. Get interactive with them because that really will get them going, Chris. You got to understand you got some power, especially if they see you busting your ass on the court, doing that blue collar kind of stuff. And Chris is like, get up, get up. I'm working hard down here. Get you working too in the crowd. And I love that. I love that kind of stuff in the game. The interaction of the players trying to garner the energy from the people in attendance. That was really, really good. Fun guy saying we wanted Thad to shoot so that he could miss and take time off clock, and even a chance for us to get the rebound. Kind of smart. You mean the free throw? yeah. Put him on the line so that he'll make maybe the first one. But you need to put those points on the board. Honestly, you want that 2-possession lead. You don't want to fuck around with that too much. You don't want to miss free throws on purpose at the end of the game, unless it is something what you're describing where they just want to eat the clock up and try and get the offensive rebound off the miss, especially if it's a brick. We've seen people do that. That actually was something that was used against us in the Atlanta game where we really messed up, where they made the first free throw and they missed the second one and bricked it, and somebody ran in and got the offensive rebound, and they made a basket, and that was a 3-point trip down the court, and that's no good. But I can see where that would be smart. They really messed up in that last play because Kleber should have shot the ball. He should have went for the 2 in that moment. He had it wide open, but he kept passing it, and they were trying to play for the 3, but we were guarding it too well. And then they got confused and they threw it away, and we got the turnover. And then that was it. The game was over once we got that ball. Boucher, player of the game. Yeah, he's the one who got the interview. Raymond Jacobs saying, does Scotty live at Scotty Bank Arena? He was on Twitch after the game so fast. He's really quick to get out of there. You got to think about it this way. He did not play, so he didn't have to get a shower. So he could just jump in his car, his driver, and boom, he's all the way back home all of a sudden. And he doesn't live far from the arena either. That's something y'all should know. He's it's not that he's going super far out or anything. So, and once he gets home, he's excited, I guess. And he gets right on and he wants to celebrate the win. This is very much his calling card now. If it's a home win and he's back here in Toronto and we win, he's going to get on Twitch. That's usually the case. Let's see. Cool Cat saying Fred, O.G, Boucher, DNA championship on display. Yes, vet championship DNA being on display tonight for sure. Cool Cat, for sure. And at Raymond, we don't want to give away Sky's location. Locals know where he lives. Yeah, I don't know specifically where he lives, but I do know that what neighborhood he lives in Toronto. But I don't know the building or specifically where he lives. But I do know what part of town he does live in. And from the arena, you can get to that part of town very quickly. So let's see. Monique saying the OVO new city jersey edition tonight. Yeah, it was Welcome Toronto night, and how fitting for Chris's Sports Corner and his wife. Welcome Toronto, Chris. Here is the game. Of course, Drake is not here for his welcome night, OVO night. Let's see. Cool Cat saying Gary Trent Jr. got some good steals. The Nick philosophy worked. Yeah, that's all I care about. That's all I care about is that Gary did what he wanted him to do on the defensive end. Name was this live? Yeah. I'm doing the late night stream because I'm not going to be around tomorrow morning. No stream tomorrow, guys. I'll be back on Monday at 9:30 a.m. for a preview for the Cleveland game because tomorrow I'm going to Scotiabank Arena for the coaches open house. I have to be there at 9 a.m. in the morning because I'm going to be taking coaching classes from the Raptors coaches till the afternoon. I think it runs from 9 to 2 p.m. or 3 p.m. So I don't know. I'll be down at the arena tomorrow morning. And that's why I won't be on tomorrow. So I got to do the reaction now. That's what's up. Cool Cat saying, with that flu, you have to keep taking medication much longer. Even if you feel better, it hides and then it comes back to haunt you again. That sucks. This is really why I don't want to be around any people. And when I go tomorrow, I'll try and sit far away from them. Tom Duke saying like a dream, nameless. That's just weird. Woo! I know. You know what? That dream about that horse this morning. Very interesting stuff, Tom Duke. Race Mode saying Bo Cruz is bigger Utah. Is a bigger Utah. Yeah, I guess in some ways the cuts are very reminiscent of what Yuta was doing last year, cutting off the ball and just being a good target for good passers on our team. And yeah, I mean, listen, we've compared him to Yuta, we've compared him to Svi. Can we just say Juancho is Juancho? And that the whole kit and caboodle that Juancho brings to our team is still being presented to us slowly but surely as the season goes on. But what we can say about him is he's a European player with a lot of experience. He's a very good team player. He plays within team systems very well, and he's just very smart and savvy. He's kind of on a Johnny on the spot kind of guy where he's like getting tip-ins, or maybe he's just kind of like taking advantage of poor passing and getting in the passing lanes and really deflecting and doing things. So there's a lot of cool stuff that he's doing. And like Nick said after the game, he really likes that he was 2 for 4 from three tonight, that he looked like he was catching with confidence and stepping into those shots. Like, this is really good because this is kind of like Otto Porter, kind of like hopefully like reliable 3-point shooting from Juancho. Also, that's not going to hurt our team roster to have another guy that's hitting really good threes if Juancho gets going with that. So I really like a lot of the stuff we saw from him tonight. Isaac Campbell saying W to Tom Duke and SB4 for sure. Tom Duke raising the alarm, coming through. He's like Paul Revere. The British are coming. Scotty's on Twitch. Scotty's on Twitch. You're the best, Tom Duke. You are the best. Tom Duke is everywhere. It does really seem like that. He's on the West Coast, but he's everywhere. I think he might be here in Toronto. Forget about Raptors Freak being out in Victoria. I should have went up to Scott and said at the subway thing, I'm Tom Duke. Okay. All right. Let's see. Let's go. Double dose today. That's right. That's right. I'm taking requests. If y'all want any impressions, late night impressions, maybe I'll do a song. I should do a victory song. If you guys want me to do a victory song for this game over Dallas, make it apropos, and I'll do my best to sing the song. I'll probably know it. Yeah. Yeah, worldwide, Tom Duke, worldwide, international. That's right. Tom Duke saying, I want Lex to wear a body cam all day tomorrow. Tom is very important in the email they sent me about confirming my registration for the Raptors coaches open house tomorrow, that I cannot do any photography. They do not want you to do any photography of the event in any kind of way. They don't want you to record nothing. They don't even want you to take pictures in there. So that's what I'm saying, Tom. It's like, I don't want to break this confidentiality agreement of me coming there. So, and I don't want to get banned or to get any kind of stupid trouble. So no, I can't wear a body cam. I'm sorry. I'm a fun guy saying, hey, Lex, you're going to be in a great atmosphere tomorrow with guys in happy mood after this win. I know. They were asking Scotty in the Twitch, are you going to be at the open coaches thing? He's not going to be there. He doesn't want to get up that early, first of all, to be down there. He just wants to get healthy and be back. I know that hopefully everybody will be in a good mood. And I just hope there's not a lot of sick people there. Fanboys, Fred VanVleet fanboys, no one. Mike, it seemed like you're 2 sheets to the wind right now. Mike's commenting. I think he's let's see. Monique saying Fred passed Alvin Williams. So many jokes about it tonight. Yeah, Alvin was fun. It was fun. They were talking about his suit a lot. Brad Fay was being a bully to him about his suit. Alvin's a big fan of turtlenecks. He's all about wearing the turtlenecks. All kinds of stuff was found out today. All kinds of stuff. The Kevin Willis stuff was especially fun, and Oakley stories are always good too. Cool Cat saying, I've stopped reading or listening to anything that comes from Michael Grange. I'm over him. Yeah, his questions are just stupid. It's really, really stupid. And even the stuff he writes about, just I don't know what his point of view is or why he wants to write about these certain subjects. He's writing about Gary right now, and I don't appreciate that. We don't need him chiming in on Gary's situation. It's not like he's going to help him. Let's see. Name was saying OG was all over Luka tonight. Yeah, he really was a one-man plumbing show. That water got cut off. He had the wrench, and he said, "Luka, you're not doing this tonight. No, I'm your dancing partner. Just you're going to see me all around you all night." It's like if OG did talk trash like Pascal does, he could be saying this. I'm going to be here all day. I'm going to be here all day. I'm not going anywhere. Yeah, I'm not going to let you do that. No, you can't do that. He could be saying that stuff, but they're very very gentlemanly. They're like, oh, OG, nice block. Let me help you up. Oh, thank you, Luka. You're such a gentleman. Oh, yeah, no shit talking. No, I didn't even take advantage of you being on the floor and running back and trying to score real easy while you're laying on the floor, OG. Oh, Luka, you're such a kind person. I hope I didn't hurt you when I blocked your shot. Who knows if this is the kind of trash talk they're probably doing on the court because they're cool. Everything's cool. There's a genuine respect there. Cool Cat saying Pascal OG is the number one and number two duo is now solidified. Fred VanVleet, Scotty, a nice duo of point guard tasks. And then Boucher off the bench. 2023 championship be ready. That's right. 2023 Toronto Raptors NBA champions. And this is really solidifying. You're right. The duo of OG and Pascal, that we're seeing OG operate like a superstar right now. And it really makes you think, like last year, we thought it may be a dueling battle attack of Scotty and Pascal, but maybe Scotty's not totally ready yet in his development curve, but OG is. And that maybe this is the rapid fire double barrel shotgun that we on offense that we need to be shooting at people is Pascal and OG together, because we're seeing OG do certain things when he gets the ball fed to him. Now, I hope that when Pascal shows up, he can kind of get over the side and let OG have the room to maneuver. And that's one of the things is we worry about people taking up too much space and different things that they're trying to do. It really is they're going to have to call each other's numbers at different times. Like Nick Nurse is going to have to say, okay, this is Pascal's turn down this court. But I would like to see OG get those kind of touches that Pascal gets, especially since he's getting them now and he's showing a lot of successful things. And it's a different kind of offensive flavor than Pascal's like smooth spins and just kind of sliding through the defense like water through a crack. Whereas OG's very much, I'm bullying you and I'm going to push you. There was a lot of people pushing people around tonight. Like they were really swallowing the whistles because everybody was pushing everybody. They were pushing on defense. They were pushing. Chris was going up for a layup and he pushed the guy who was guarding him off. And they didn't call half of those pushes. It was really interesting refereeing job tonight. There was some really bad refereeing for sure, but also some of it wasn't too bad. And the outcome of the game is all that matters, right? So, they had really bad calls, obviously at certain times for sure. And we could have probably used our challenge at some point, but it was kind of really smart. Like this is the kind of game where you want to have it in your back pocket if things just get really weird at the end of the game and like in the final seconds of the game. So I can understand why they held off on it, because it did look like it was going to be a close game and it was going to go down the wire. And, when you're playing against Luka, you want to have every ace up your sleeve. And I think that was a big reason why they didn't use the challenge. And even though there were a lot of plays where they probably could have used it and won, but they didn't. They didn't end up using it at all in the whole game. Let's see. Hugh is here. More Jeff, more Jeff. Yes, more Jeff Dowden, please. Please, more Jeff Dowden Jr. He is just he is just doing some stuff. Cool Cat saying Dowden Jr. was very instrumental of feeding OG while Fred was out for break. Managed the floor well. Flynn should learn from Dowden. Well, he's a real point guard, and that's what I like. See, in some ways, Malachi's still a shooting guard that doesn't do the point guard kind of things that his height really kind of should have him doing in some ways. And I don't like that, especially that one play where Malachi really forced himself to the basket and he had a really bad turnover. Is like that just looked like it was very forced, that he was really trying to be aggressive, but it just was a big fail. Name was saying, this is awesome late night. Let me make a tea and roll up a J. Yeah, I got to do it when I could do it. And Tom Duke's got it all ready for you, it looks like, with the moon too. Mike, you're all good. Listen, I know you're excited. This has been a good victory. Big dubs, baby. Let's see. Monique's saying double duty for Tom and the chapters. Oh, yeah, Tom, you're still on the clock. All right, Nameless, you want to campfire a ghost story? Well, all right. Well, we had an old local ghost story down in Tallahassee about a guy named Willy. Willy lived in Wakulla County, which is south of Tallahassee and Leon County. And it's a kind of a redneck, kind of like backwoods kind of county where people live out in the woods and they have dogs and shotguns. And well, there was this guy named Willy who lived down there, but he was really ugly and everybody hated him and they treated him really badly. He was bullied and he was kind of like stupid. He was kind of like a sloth from Goonies. And he used to cut people's lawns, and like he was cutting somebody's lawn, he fell down in the yard, and the lawnmower ran his head over. Yeah, chopped his head off, and but he disappeared. and like they couldn't find him. And then the like legend is that Wakulla Willie is still running around in Wakulla Springs and places south of Tallahassee in the woods with no head. And that it's kind of like a headless horseman kind of story where he's kind of trying to find a new head. And he will come out in the woods in the middle of the night and you'll see him with no head and he's trying to get your head. That's the whole story. We used to tell that story down in Wakulla County when we'd go to the camp as campers. And that was one of the local ghost stories for around that area. So there you go, Nameless. I don't know. There's a campfire ghost story for you. Wakulla Willie, he wants his head back because he got it chopped off from a lawnmower. It's a really weird story. But I would, if I did it real justice, the extended version, I would have drawn that out for like 20 minutes and made it really scary and all this stuff. I just wanted to give you the gist of it. Mike saying, "Are you afraid of the dark?" Was OP. Yeah, it's past me. Obviously, I was too old when it came out, so I never watched it. Raptor Freak After Dark. Yeah, the light really kind of gives this effect. Raymond saying YTV was where it was all at. Yeah, Arthur, whatever they were showing there. Fun guy saying, "Stop it, Nameless. You're being a bad influence because now I want to roll a celebratory J2. Man, maybe I'll go do it too also after this. I mean, I've been smoking already. I mean, it is what I do during the day. Let's see. Fun guy saying, Steve Ballmer and Mark Cuban are my faves. As owners, Larry Tannenbaum's cool as hell too. But yeah, Steve Ballmer's kind of annoying, and Mark Cuban's all right. He's all right. He's done some really awesome things recently, like the way he's talked about like insulin prices and trying to help with those issues in the United States is really smart. He's just a humanitarian in some ways. Mark Cuban, I really like him in some ways. Monique saying Thad getting real comfortable in the lineup. Yeah, he started really bad. Like he looked old to me at the beginning of the game, and I'm so glad they pulled him and brought Chris in for him right away. That was really smart because Thad had really bad energy at the beginning, but he came around and he never really got his offense going, but he did so many good intangible stuff, whether it was distributing the ball or just smart plays on defense. That in the clutch free throws late. So that was really important by the end of the game, even though he had no offense, which was really weird because his left hand's so money and he just couldn't get any of them to go. It was very weird how he wasn't making any of them. Monique saying, this is why Chris Boucher's show is called Hustle Play. Let's go. Yeah, really apropos. And I love just his energy out there. He's just such a burst of energy. Daddy Gates is here. Exactly. They screwed up that last play, played for the three and got confused and turned the ball over. Yeah. I don't know if it was just good scheming by us or that, what they said. This is what Matt Devlin and Alvin said is like sometimes not being vets happens on both sides. And that may have been just like inexperience by Kleber at that moment that really showed. And like, Dallas has some inexperience. They are a young team in some ways. Luka is very good and he covers up a lot of that inexperience in some ways, but they are a very young team. Luka even himself is young himself. So they should make like rookie mistakes from time to time in high pressure situations just because they haven't been in those situations enough in some ways. So Daddy Gates also saying, yeah, Chris Sports and his wife are here in Toronto and we're at the game. We need NBA Chev up here now. Yeah, Chev should come up and see a game too here. But yeah, it was a really perfect game for them to go to. And I'm really happy they're enjoying their time in the city. I know they'll have a good time. I don't know how long they're going to be here for, but hopefully they get to do even more stuff around town and stuff. Forgetful saying play flu defense tomorrow. I'll wear a mask. I'll definitely wear a mask. I'll wear my Raptors mask. Where is it? I think it's right here. I have an actual. Where is it? I think this. No, that's not it. I can't find it right now. It's somewhere around here, but it's actually a Raptors mask. So. Let's see. Finally beat Dallas. Yeah, I love it. Randolph Phillips is here. We did it. We won. Blessings, Raptors freaks. Yeah. Randolph Phillips feeling good on a good Saturday night. It's a Saturday night to enjoy yourself. Van Hoot is here. Like I said before, we don't need to play like the Warriors. We just need to relentlessly attack and be aggressive at full strength. And we have the ability to do it. Also told you Dinwiddie would try. Yeah, you did. And in the beginning of the game, he looked really dangerous because he hit 3 threes to start. And I was like, oh, crap. I don't want this to be one of these Dinwiddie games like Van Hoot was saying. And they figured him out. He was still annoying at times. I mean, let me look at his stat line. He didn't end up getting too much points. He ended up getting 15, 6 of 11 shooting, 3 of 8 from 3. 7 assists. He could have done way more damage, but in the beginning he started hot, and I was very, very worried about Dinwiddie. But it ended up being all right. And you're right. Listen, I think that we've been very astute. A lot of different people that have come in here have said we need to stay home. We need to stop doubling so much. We need to stop cheating so much and let OG be that master plumber and just do a single man job on Luka. That this was really smart strategy for a lot of the game, staying home and just having one-on-one guys on each guy instead of trying to come and double Luke all the time. This really kind of looked good in some ways. Like, Nick, you just need to trust that a guy like OG or Precious or Scott or Pascal can just lock up a dude like that. I mean, OG for sure, and maybe some of those other guys could do it too. And that way you don't tire one guy out like you did OG tonight. If you have Precious available and you have Scotty available, you can switch those guys on and let them try and guard him too also. Maybe that's part of the reason why Luka's done so well is like Scotty's not ready to guard him yet. Because he is a very tough guard to try and guard, and OG's really good at it, obviously. But yeah, I like that they're not doubling him. They didn't double him all the time. They did try and trap him and try and limit him, and that was successful too. So I think they had a good balance of both. But there was a lot more isolation or a lot more one-on-one. OG just straight up guarding him by himself, which is good, which is really good. Hugh saying it's interesting. Last season, OG had a fire start when Pascal was recovering from surgery. After Pascal came back, the dynamic changed. It won't be different this time. OG will still get his, though. I hope so. And this is something I worry about. Much like some guys won't get as many minutes after guys come back, it's the same kind of thing with roles. Like OG's role might be dialed back a little bit, but can we figure out a way to have enough space to allow both of them to be kind of like this way? I know Pascal will still kind of be the number one and the first option, but it's definitely looking like OG should probably be our second option as far as trying to put the ball in his hands and he can go get some points one way or another. It'll be a whole lot better for him once the refs respect him more and more. He should be going to the line way more than he is. Once again, OG he had 7 free throws. So that's pretty good. 6 to 7 from the line. That's pretty good. We shot very well at the free throw line, 80%. Beating them at the free throw line. We got +2 at the free throw line, 2 more points from there. And then the 3-pointers, we beat them in 3-pointers too, shooting 30%. They shot 28%, but they did get a couple more threes than us, but it wasn't a big deal. And they shot better overall than us, but we did manage 15 more field goal attempts over the whole course of the game. And a lot of that is those offensive rebounds. So really, really good effort. We play Raptor style basketball against a team that doesn't rebound well and is not shooting threes well. Well, this is how this goes down, is what happened tonight. Yeah, which was really, really good. Let's see. Van Hoot is saying, would you rather take a charge from OG's shoulder 3 times or an individual punch from the late, great Kimbo Slice in the gut, but you can't prepare for it? Wow. Well, that's the way Houdini died, something like that. And it didn't even have to be Kimbo Slice. Oh man, this is a tough choice, Van Hoop, but I'm going to answer this question. Honestly, I might take the punch from Slice still because it's just once, and you don't know how hard OG's going to hit you with that shoulder. And he's going to get you 3 licks. So I don't know. That's a tough call. I don't think I want either of them. But if I have to choose, maybe I do take a Kimbo Slice punch to the gut. Ooh. M. Jones is saying the officiating was much worse. I'll take it. The affiliating, or I'm gonna guess you're saying the officiating. Yeah, it was kind of bad at times. They definitely blew some calls and they weren't getting the right calls. But it is what it is. We won. That's all that matters. We got that W. It's all that matters. Name was saying, I thought the refs really tried to toss this one at the end. They were trying to hurt us in different ways. Like, oh man, but they couldn't finish it off. So, they can manipulate things to a certain way and give silver platter to the other team and say, okay, here's your opportunity to try and come over it. But if they don't get success because our defense is just too good, then they can't help them win because they can't score. They can't do the stuff to get over the hump. And it may, in some ways it did seem like they were helping Dallas at times. And I didn't like that. Monique's saying 600 videos you did, Lex. Congratulations. Well, that's including my other series, not this channel, because I have a bunch of videos from the convenience store show. There's 150 on those. So it's really like I'm a 450 really on this station. Alistair's saying, if I'm OG, I continue to push for Defensive Player of the Year. If he does too much, he'll get tired and his defense will fail. You know, I want him to try and get an all-star. I think OG is an all-star at this point, but he should get some defensive shine also at the end of the year with the awards. But I would like to see OG Anunoby play in the all-star game this year. I think that us as fans should start voting him in as soon as the all-star voting starts, and just put that buzz out there that OG Anunoby is an all-star caliber player because he plays so well at both ends of the court, and he's done so well recently. Let's see. It's never a chat without Logical Raptors fan. It's never a chat without a lot of you guys. You guys are all very essential. Nameless saying, great effing campfire story, Lex. You like the Wakala Willy story. All right, cool. Cool Cat saying, Pascal, OG already knows how to play off each other. Pascal sits. OG is a focal point. Teams have to decide. Pascal, OG, Fred to double team, triple team. All three shoot from threes. Yeah, we just are a nightmare. We're a nightmare matchup for all kinds of reasons. It's like, listen, we don't even have Pascal right now. And yeah, this is really crazy. Like, I can't believe how many of our guys are out, and we just beat Dallas. And this is a team I've been really afraid of for a couple years now. That, like, we don't do well against them. Luka always beats us, and we beat them today without Pascal, without Precious, without Delano, without Otto. I mean, this is crazy, y'all. This is crazy. The amount of guys we're missing, and they just get added on. Laughing my ass off, Raptor Freak After Dark. That's right. Jason Smith's here. Hey, what's up, Jason Smith? How you doing, man? I hope you're having a good night. Go Raptors. Raptors winning it, baby. Yeah, we beat Dallas. Luka, go get your hookah and go puka because you got beta. I shouldn't talk trash to him, though, because he's not a trash talk artist, apparently. He's a very cordial, nice young man. Nameless saying, we can't afford to have Lex come down with COVID. No streams for a week. Listen, Nameless, that didn't stop me from doing streams. I had COVID in April, and I did not break my streak. I got COVID at the Kyle Lowry return game in April, and I had it bad for like 2 weeks, and I streamed every single morning while I had COVID. You think COVID's going to stop me, man? No, it ain't going to stop me, bro. But I am going to try and avoid it. I ain't going to want to have nothing to do with it tomorrow. No, I don't. I don't want to have nothing to do with it. Monique's saying Pascal giving Coloco a prep talk once yet again. So good. You know, listen, Pascal's being such a leader right now. It's really weird. One of the things Nick said the other day is that his leadership is very much like Fred's leadership at this point. That I didn't think he would be like Fred's leadership. I said he's a leader on the court by example. Well, apparently he's just like Fred's leadership at this point, taking guys aside, being a mentor, just very vocal on the court, saying all kinds of stuff. Pascal has really blossomed and come out of his shell. And they were saying, even though he's been hurt this whole little stretch recently, he's been contributing in so many different ways to the team still, whether it's his energy, cheering them on. He's talking to the refs a lot during the game, like getting in their ear from the bench and telling them things, and you know, just being very much like what Monique said. He's there to mentor and give pep talks to people like Christian Coloco. So Pascal is being a huge leader, even though he's physically not able to play right now. Coquette saying, I like that Nick Nurse varied the double and single coverage of Luka. When we double, we trap for the pass. Yeah, it was really smart. And it was probably on a contingency that was really smart the way they had worked it out. So it was very effective. And it was really, really good switch. And they didn't do it all the time. And it was just so good. It's so good. They really don't have a lot of good players on that team. They have Luka, and obviously he's one of the greatest players of his generation right now. But after him, like, that team is not very talented. You know, there's a lot of guys that are kind of good role players and maybe like kind of interesting in some ways, but it's not a very talented team overall. Let's see. Nameless saying, what's up, Alistair? Bam, bam. Yeah, I like it. Hugh saying, I saw that the doubles were a little lazy tonight, but I'm glad we limited the doubles and trusted OG with the single coverage on Luka. It worked out better. Last time we threw a double every play. Yeah, we didn't want to get burned. And maybe Nick did get a light bulb from Eric Kareen's question yesterday during practice. He's like, why don't you single coverage Luka with OG? He's like, he had a weird reaction. He's like, Okay. Maybe that's what it was. It's like, oh, Eric Kareem said this. And so maybe he mixed it up and he did actually do it because he lied. He said, no, I won't do that. And it's like, what do we do when OG's not out there? Well, what do you do when Luka's not out there? Well, you take OG out. And what do you do when Luka gets put in there? You put OG back in. Is basically what you do. You just mirror him. He's like, he is Luka's shadow for the night, and he will very much shut him down because he's right on him. Right on him. It's so good. He's saying it sucks that this season Pascal might not make the All-Star game again because of injuries. Yeah, I know it is what it is. It is what it is. It's stupid. But maybe he will still make it just because he's so overpowering good. He has a lot of time to make up for it. He's already looked like a top 5 kind of guy in the season already. He comes back and he looks like that again for like a month or two before that. Yeah, he probably will make the All-Star game, even though he's missing this time right now. But we'll have to see and monitor this because you could be right that he could miss 2 All-Stars in a row because of being injured near the beginning of the season. I don't like that. Van Hussein, I got to bounce. Cheers. Right on, man. Have a good night and be smart, be safe, and have a fantastic celebration tonight, Van Hoot. Cool Cat saying, Pascal O.G will be fine. Remember, Fred VanVleet took a step back to allow other guys to step up. O.G answered the call. Space given to Scotty to step up too. We now have found different ways to win games, different weapons, different guys that are ready to take more responsibility when they are called upon. And OG's ready to do that. He's shown this for a couple of years now, but it's very different now. Like it's evolving. It's very much evolving like Jack Armstrong wearing a teddy bear jacket. It's evolving. OG is evolving into like a bull in a china shop, and he's doing way more near the basket. And it's like he doesn't care who's near him. He's just going to the basket and putting the ball in the hoop. And there can be carnage on the way. It doesn't matter. Guys could be hanging on him. He could be slinging around, and he may awkwardly bump into them with his leg or something, and he's still going to try and put it in. And then also, if he misses a shot, he's doing really well following it up and trying to get a second chance. Which he did a couple times too tonight. He did have 4 offensive rebounds himself. Monique saying pumped up for Monday's game as I'm going streaking. Well, this Cleveland, this is a tough one, and this is a game we want to win. Obviously, we already beat them once this year. We want to beat them again. We want to beat Cleveland all the times we play them, especially since they're higher than us in the standings. And, they're not that much higher. Like if we beat them on Monday, they could be a lot closer to us and we will be a lot closer to them higher up. G's got fire going right now. Yes, don't put that fire out. Let the motherfucker burn. Is what I'm saying right now. Get that hot streak going and let's take it and keep it in that building for Monday night also against Cleveland. Yes. Cool Cat saying, great to hear Pascal Fred given the same type of leadership, the Kyle Lowry mentorship. I saw Pascal talking to refs tonight. I was like, yes, soften the whistle for us. Explain what's going on. He's got to get some respect himself just because of the caliber of player he is. And maybe he is very good at politicking and talking to them. It's just really, really crazy how much he's bloomed. Just as a person in general. He's had the controversy since the bubble, the things that happened in the bubble. And since then, he just hasn't looked back. He's just bloomed and he continues to expand his role and who he is just in general. And Nick's right. It's just at this point, with what he does on the court and who he is to our franchise, this is the natural thing that he should be doing. That it didn't make total sense when he's a member of the bench mob. It didn't totally make sense when he was on the championship team with so many other leaders around him at that time. Well, now it makes sense because he's absolutely our superstar. And he is the kind of guy that can give this kind of advice out to younger guys on the team, and they very much will listen. He is E.F. Hutton. When he speaks, they're listening to him. That's a reference that made me very aged right there, that I just said E.F. Hutton. Some of the other people will be like, what the? Bringing up that. All right, let's see. Edmund's saying, Gary with 9 points and 4 steals. He needs to keep shooting. Yeah, he'll start making them again soon. I'm not worried about Gary. I just want him to get healthier, and I feel like something's wrong with his leg still. I don't feel like he's totally right. But I really love the steals. Name was saying, what did you think of the game, G? I loved it. I loved the game myself. I really enjoyed watching it. I had a good feeling about it, just like a couple of people have said on here, that I felt like we could control things in certain ways that we could have a good chance to win. And I was very pleasantly surprised. I was very happy to see different leaders on our team step up. And really, it was a team effort that really contributed to it all. Goonie saying, I like Jeff Dowtin. Yeah, Jeff Dowtin's awesome. He really, really is awesome. He's a very down to earth guy, and I'm excited about what he's going to do for us continuing on the team. Name was saying, let's beat Cleveland all banged up. Send them a damn message. All right. I haven't even seen what they're at. Of course, I'll look at it and we'll talk about it Monday morning. You won't see me tomorrow, though, guys. Cool saying, I saw OG did some Pascal moves tonight in the game. I was like, yeah, Pascal shared the secret in the paint. Yeah, there was a lot of cool. There was a whole different things in OG's bag tonight. He did hit 1 3, which was nice because he hasn't been hitting threes recently. Actually, he hit 2 threes. He was 2 for 4, 9 and 19 from the field, 4 offensive rebounds. As I said, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks. So really solid stat stuffing with 26 points. But the guy he really reminded me of was Kawhi, because he was just so strong and forceful and just imposing what he wanted to do. And there was nothing they could do to stop him. It's almost like he's a freight train. And like once he gets going, it's like, yeah, you're not stopping him. He's going to go and get it. And that may be part of the reason why he gets these weird offensive fouls. Because even if he just brushes into a guy or a guy flops on him, he's probably going to get called on it sometimes. There was some travel calls on OG that was fucked up. There was also some offensive fouls once again that were not right for him either. Once again, yeah. Cool Cats name was saying, give Cleveland that Luka treatment. Yeah, well, this was something we used to talk about, giving people OG-itis. You put OG on people, then all of a sudden they feel sick and they can't score or anything. Ooh, you got that OG-itis. Shut you down. I don't know, who would we put him on with this team coming up? Would he be on Donovan? Would he be on maybe one of the big guys like Mobley? I don't know. Who's their biggest threat? It's probably Donovan. And so OG should be guarding Donovan Mitchell. He should be cutting the water off on him on Monday night. Monique saying, good to Watson, pumping up everyone before the game. Good to Watson. Earl Watson. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, hey, listen, I'm really proud of the guys and how they played tonight. Really, really awesome that we won. My 3 stars for the game are obviously Chris Boucher, OG, and Fred. Chris for the offensive rebounding and just the energy. OG for being the man and really being the superstar in a lot of ways, and also shutting down Luka. And then Fred VanVleet for being the leader, the steady force, and hitting some key threes and keeping us going through the game. Just good stuff. Like if you look at the team stats, let me just look at it real quick. It's funny because Scotty did a recap of the box score on his Twitch stream earlier. It's funny. It's like he's doing what I do. He's like looking at the stats and reading them out. Scotty is hilarious. But yeah, we shot worse than them. They shot 48%. We shot 43%. We still got more field goals made than them, though. We shot better at 3 and we shot better at free throws. And then we out rebounded them. The assists we didn't get 25 assists. We only got 20 assists, which I always want to get more than that. They beat us in assists, but we definitely won in steals. We won in the turnovers. We won on the points in the paint. And those were all important battles. Very, very good win by the Raptors. Very proud of them. All right, let me see. Where am I at with the stream? I'm almost at an hour and a half. Cool Cat saying, oh, without a doubt, OG is the strongest on our team. I prefer he gets his own name. Don't call him Baby Kawhi. Yeah, I'm not really calling him Baby Kawhi. I'm just saying when anybody's so strong near the basket like that, it really reminds me of kind of like a Kawhi Leonard kind of style of strong arm offense. And yeah, he's his own person for sure. And there's certain things that he does that are very different than Kawhi. But yeah, OG should be guarding Donovan Mitchell, shut him down. Yeah. Even though he's a littler guy, that I think he can take that assignment and he'd do just fine. Yeah, looking at Dallas just real quick as I wrap up. Finney Smith, 16 points. He was a little annoying at times, but not really a huge. Like I said, none of their other guys other than Luka really, other than Spencer at the beginning of the game, really worry me. They're all kind of like Wood he got 10 points. He ended up waking up a little bit late, but it was too little too late. That Green guy was really annoying. He was all over the place and he was fouling people left and right. He rightfully did foul out. Just really annoying guy. And I thought Spencer Dinwiddie probably should have fouled out also, the way he was kind of bugging people. But yeah, people like Reggie Bullock didn't do anything. JaVale McGee, garbage. Tim Hardaway Jr., not very good. Campozo, he somehow looks so much shorter than Fred. I'm amazed at how short that Campozo guy looks. He's not. They say he's like 5'9". He's like 5'6". That dude is so little. Thad Young, good game, even though he was 1 for 6. The rebounds were really important. The assists were really important, and a couple steals for Thad. Juancho showing more and more. We really enjoy the new bags of tricks and different things that Juancho keeps displaying as we go along. OG, fantastic superstar work. Clamping down Luka, huge. Fred, fantastic with the threes and just steadying the team. He had 6 rebounds himself, Fred. And Scotty was really talking that up in his Twitch stream after the game. He's like, how tall is Fred? How big is he? And look at how many rebounds he got, is what Scotty was saying. 7 assists. Gary Trent, tough night shooting, but, the 4 steals. I love seeing that. Boucher, awesome off the bench. He now leads the Raptors franchise in double-doubles off the bench in franchise history. 22 points, 13 rebounds, 10 and 19 shooting. He did not make a 3, but hey, who cares? Koloko and Flynn, both very short time, no score for either one of them. Birch, very solid, 3 for 5 with 6 points. And then Jeff Doughton Jr. Everybody just wants more Jeff Doughton Jr. Is that kind of thing. It was like, it's like you get just a taste and you want more. And that really is what's kind of going on with Jeff Doughton Jr. He's showing a lot of good stuff. Let's see. Raymond Jacobson, OG leveled up. He's like OG Wanobi. OG Wanobi now. OG Wan. Cool Cat saying Scotty will be learning a lot while on the bench with injury. He will see winning plays, get to see other players' tendencies, maybe get his ear here from Otto Porter, Thad Young, different vets on the team sitting next to him as the game's going on, finding out more and stuff like that. All right, let me wrap it up, guys. Thanks for joining me late on a late reaction for the Dallas game. Fantastic win by the Raptors. We really needed this one, and boy, did it come along nicely. And now we feel real good. Hopefully we can start getting some of these guys back more and more, and we can continue these good vibes and get another W on Wednesday against Cleveland. I'll be back Monday morning, 9:30 a.m. for a preview of the Cleveland game. And thank you, Edmund. I'll try and have a good time tomorrow and let you guys all know what happened on Monday, tomorrow at the Coach's Open House. But thank you, everybody, for joining me. And please subscribe if you enjoy my channel. And have a great rest of the Saturday night. You go Raptors. Yes, we did it. We cut that water off. Some OG-itis was put on the skin of Luka. And he needs to get the topical cream for tomorrow because he got shut down in a lot of ways. We had some of the best defense played on Luka Doncic this whole entire season by our team and individually by OG Anunoby. Very, very great performance all around. Team effort, win by the Toronto Raptors. We're proud of you, and let's go get the next one against Cleveland here on Monday night. All right, guys, have a great Saturday night, and if you're out, be safe and be smart, but have a good time. Let the good times roll. Yeah, great stuff. Thank you, Tom, and thank you, Tom, for what you do on this channel and for the heads up about Twitch also. Thank you, Cool Cat, and good night to you, Randolph, and have a solid Sunday to you also, Isaac Campbell. Good to see all the Raptor freaks checking in, and have a great evening. Have a good sleep, and I'll see you guys on Monday morning. All right, let's go Raptors.